If you are the child of a narcissist, or you have loved somebody that was either diagnosed as or could be described as a narcissist, then this is for you. Because you don't actually have a fully developed sense of self yet. And it's because you grew up in an environment where you had to adjust so much to the needs, wants, desires, preferences of this dominant caregiver who probably gave inconsistent care, if any care. Sometimes maybe they doted on you, made you feel wonderful, and then other times they withdrew their love and their approval. And that was painful for you. And you never knew which one you were going to get, and so you had to keep sort of adjusting to figure out how to get more of what felt good and less of what did not feel good. But chances are that even when you gave it your best effort, there was not consistency, so sometimes you would still get a negative reaction even though you were doing the best that you could to ensure that you would not get a negative reaction or negative input. You did the best you could to manage it. And if one of these narcissistic caregivers was also an addict or had some sort of chemical imbalance, and often they go together, then you have more variables that are harder for you to control. And there's that word that we're going to focus on: control. And so from the time that you were young, it becomes very, very important for you to control the environment that you inhabit as much as you possibly can to ensure that it doesn't continue to feel unsafe to you. Unfortunately, the mind is a learning tool, and it tends to be looking for things to confirm its bias and trying to find things that are familiar, that it can connect with. And so as you grow up and mature and you go into life, you have probably found that you've had relationships with partners that have behaved similarly to this dysfunctional patterning from your childhood with your caregiver. And you have gotten to the point where you just feel like that says something about you. That there must be something wrong with you because you got that message so often growing up that you had did something wrong, that you had performed poorly, that you had not met expectations adequately. And now you have a partner, or you have had multiple partners who have given you that same messaging. And the brain will tell you, well, see, it's true. You're a worthless piece of shit. You can't get anything right. There's something wrong with you. And you think that that voice in your head that is telling you that is you. And you believe it as if it's true. So I want you to know that that voice in your head is not you. That is a lie. But it is a belief system that has its roots early in your life, before you were old enough to be aware that it was being imprinted upon you, and that you were hearing those messages over and over again in different ways in the environment, in the container that you grew up in. And you adopted those messages as your own, and it became the foundation of a belief system that you have about yourself. And you have gone repeatedly into life, into relationships with others, where that has been reinforced. I found my way to freedom as the child of a narcissist who continues to remain a victim to this day, taking no responsibility because he had endured a lot of pain when he was young. and can't possibly consider that he could have been the cause of pain to others. And so, in my own journey of healing, I had to come to realize that I was not those things that other people were telling me that I was. I was not those things that my mind was telling me that I was. But I had what was essentially an abusive internal dialogue with myself. That those people outside of me were only reinforcing what I already believed about myself because of the environment that I grew up in. And also, those people were just projecting onto me their own insecurities that they could not sit with. And they pushed them onto me. When I finally woke up and I realized that I deserved peace and that I had to figure out how to love myself, I got to the point where I could deconstruct all of these narratives that were not true about me. And I stopped living my life based off of the feedback that I was getting from others. And I figured out who it is that I actually am and how I want to exist and express myself in the world. And I took on the mantra, not my job. How you receive me, not my job. How you feel about me, not my job. What is my job is what's going on in here. Am I living in alignment with who it is that I want to be in the world? Have I mastered those parts of myself to express myself in a way that feels good to me? And what's beautiful about that is you free others, because then now I give them the opportunity to decide what they want that relationship with me to look like and to be. They do not have to want to have a relationship with me. And whether or not they want to consume me or have a relationship with me does not say anything about me. It has everything to do with them. That they are autonomous and I am autonomous. And we can choose what kind of relationship we want to have in that space. So if you are somebody who has discovered that you are a codependent, or if you are somebody who grew up with a parent that was a narcissist or acted and behaved in narcissistic ways with addictive patterning, you can heal. You don't have to suffer.